Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on Madden 23. Today we will be continuing the postseason here in year number 4 with games 3 and 4 of the ALDS against our division rival, the Detroit Tigers. We ended up splitting the first 2 games at home. Now we're headed on to the road, and at this point it is now a 3-game series. In the first game, the offense completely did not show up. We ended up losing 6-1, and then the second game, the offense came alive, particularly early with 7 runs in the first 4 innings, leading us to an 8-3 win. So these next 2 games are going to be really pivotal. There's a chance that this ALDS comes to a close if either team wins both games today, or if we split them, then we'll be headed to a Game 5 in Cleveland, which would be in the next episode. The team through the first 2 playoff games has been up and down. In the first game, the offense was bad and the pitching was mediocre. And then in the second game, everything clicked. The offense was great, the starting pitching was great, the bullpen was great. So let's start here with Game 3. We've got Hunter Greene on the mound today, his first career postseason start, and it is a rainy one here in Detroit. We'll see if either team will be able to take a 2-1 series lead here. As we learned last year with the Cleveland Guardians of the ALDS, any team can win any playoff series, and we cannot take these guys lightly. So this is what the schedule looks like. This series will certainly be going at least 4, and again, if this next 2 games end up being split, then we'll be headed to a Game 5. Let's take a look at both lineups in this one. Both teams starting right-handed pitchers. Keep in mind, regular starters across the board here for both sides, as these teams both know this is a really important game. Casey Mize starting for the Tigers. He pitched in 6 innings in the wild card game, leading Detroit to the win against the Yankees. Ketel Marte leads us off, and he goes down looking. That pitch right on the corner. Casey Mize paints it perfectly for a strikeout. That'll bring up Jesus Sanchez now, the 2-2, and he goes down swinging on the fastball. Not a bad start here to the first inning for Casey Mize, the former #1 pick out of the University of Auburn. Hunter Greene starting today for Cleveland. He was fantastic throughout the regular season. Nearly made the All-Star team. Nearly made the Cy Young. He ended up getting second place as he starts off with a quick strikeout here against the second baseman, Raymond Prince. Let's go top 2. No base runners so far for either side. Kyle Lewis going to look to change that for Cleveland as he grounds it up the middle. Baez makes the play. The throw to first is going to be close, and they got him. Javier Baez can be a little bit inconsistent defensively, but we know he can make plays like that. Bottom of the second, here's Keibert Ruiz, grounds it to Jose Ramirez, and Hunter Greene once again retires the side. Both offenses have done completely nothing so far. Casey Mize and Hunter Greene are putting on a show, and I know it's early, but neither team has gotten a base runner so far. Zane Rowley draws a walk. Finally, somebody on base. We'll see if Cleveland can start to get some runs across. Full count here for Luis Campusano. He tries to draw a walk as well. The pitch was inside, but still in the strike zone for a K. Bottom 3, here's Diemi Odiemi. He goes down looking on the fastball. Hunter Greene still cooking. Isaac Paredes now up for the Tigers, and he goes down looking on the changeup. Hunter Greene right now is dominating in his first career postseason start. Strikes out the side. This time it's Raymond Prince who strikes out. How often has this happened through 3 innings from both teams? 0 base hits. That's pretty remarkable. Top 4, Jose Ramirez draws a walk, so the Guardians now have themselves another base runner. Maybe this is where they can drive them in. Kyle Lewis up to the plate. He goes down looking on the fastball. Cleveland's been very disciplined today at the plate. It's given them some walks, but it's given them some close calls that have been strikeouts. Josh Bell now places this one into the gap. We finally have our first hit of the day, and I think we're going to have our first run as well. Bell with an RBI double as Jose Ramirez scores from first, and the Cleveland Guardians are on the board. They lead 1-0. Josh Bell hitless through the first 2 postseason games, so it's fitting that he's the first one to get a hit today. Alvaro Pena draws a walk, so he is aboard. 2 on, 2 out. Now the offense is really starting to do some things, as that brings up Ramon Ramiro, grounds it up the middle. Baez flips it over to second, but not a bad inning. Cleveland finally gets a hit, they finally get a run, and they lead 1-0. Let's go into the bottom of the 4th. Spencer Torkelson up for the Tigers. Filthy pitch by Hunter Green, who is still absolutely shoving right now. 1-2 for Gallo. Beats the shift perfectly. The no-hitter is up for the Tigers as Gallo will waltz into second pretty easily with a double. So now there's a runner on second base, 2 away. Can the Tigers drive him in? It's Javier Baez up to the plate. Hits it well into center, but Jesus Sanchez is under it to make the grab. So the Tigers get their first hit of the day, but are unable to score as Cleveland holds on to their 1-0 lead going into the 5th. 1 away for Luis Campusano. He hits this one high and well. Deep into left field. Back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. Solo home run for Luis Campusano, the unlikely guy to make a play here. And it's 2-0 Cleveland. Beautiful swing from Campusano. Obviously his first postseason home run of the year. Now the Guardians offense is finally doing some things. Ketel Marte joins in on the fun as he hits it in the left center gap for a double. Cleveland's got another runner in scoring position. They lead by 2, but they're trying to add some more to that lead. Jesus Sanchez is now up. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Makes it a hat trick. 3 Ks in a row. Don't write that out, kids, because that's bad. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez now. Homered twice back in Game 2. Adds another one here. Jose Ramirez, the American League MVP with a 2-run shot. He is playing like an MVP here in the postseason as the Guardians double their lead, making it 4-0. What a great swing off the bat of Jose Ramirez, who continues to absolutely dominate. The base runners are going to keep on coming as Kyle Lewis draws a walk. I'm really surprised Casey Mize has not been pulled. Right as I say that, he gets pulled. So James Paxton, the lefty, will come in to replace him. He's pitched in 3 postseason innings so far, allowing 1 run as he faces off against Josh Bell. Clobbers it into left field. Another one. And the Guardians lead 6-0. Josh Bell, ever since the All-Star break, has been horrible against lefties. So it's fitting that he mashes a bomb against the lefty, and it is now 6-0. Cleveland with a 5 spot here in the 5th inning with a trio of home runs by Campusano, Ramirez, and now Josh Bell. This game was once super close, super tight. Now it's an absolute blowout as Alvaro Pena strikes out to finally end what was a disastrous inning for the Tigers. The rain really starting to fall hard here as we go into the bottom of the 5th. Connor Scott leads the inning off for the Tigers, and he will single into right field. So Detroit opens the inning with a base runner. It seems like they're going to try to make a little rally, and I think now would be the best time to start. Keibert Ruiz draws a walk, so there's 2 on, nobody out for Odiemi. That pitch very clearly a strike, but they call it ball 3. And then on the following pitch, Odiemi crushes it into left center. That should have been a strikeout, that at bat. Instead, it's a 2-run double. So the Tigers add 2 to the scoreboard. They have the runner in scoring position still, and nobody out. So it looks like the Tigers are going to make a run back into this game, but they're clearly not done. They get another base hit here from Isaac Paredes off the glove of Ramirez. 2 on, nobody out, and from there, manager Giovanni Cabrera is going to talk with the umpires. This game is headed into a rain delay and would last about 45 minutes. So as the game resumes, the team comes back onto the field, but not Hunter Green. His day is done. He'll be replaced by Brusdar Graterol. Green was really struggling to start that 5th inning. I don't think it would have made any logical sense to keep him in the game, as this one is hit up the middle by Raymond Prince for a single. Run scores, and it is now 6-3. 2 runners on, still nobody out. So the Tigers are really making some noise right now. Riley Green goes down looking on the cutter. Finally, Cleveland gets an out here in the bottom of the 5th. They needed that one badly. Torkelson grounds it to second. Ramiro to Marte to Bell. 4, 6, 3. Inning-ending double play. A very eventful 5th inning. The Guardians score 5. Then we have the rain delay. Then the Tigers score 3. Zane Riley strikes out here in the 6th. James Paxton still in the game. We'll see if both offenses revert back to nothingness as Joey Gallo singles into left center. So maybe the Tigers will keep it going after a great 5th inning where they finally kind of broke out on offense after really struggling early. Or maybe I spoke a little bit too soon as they ground into a double play. There's Javi Baez we all know and love. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. Still the same score, 6-3. No offense since the double play. James Karinchak checks into the game for the Guardians, facing off against Odiemi, who bloops it into center field, and that will drop for a base hit. So the Tigers get themselves a base runner. They've got some real groundwork to do, down by 3, with not a whole lot of time to go, as Isaac Paredes strikes out for the second out of the inning, and then Raymond Prince will finish it off with a knuckle curve. Good inning from Karinchak. The bullpen, for the most part, pitching really well. They just got to get 2 more strong innings to finish this one off. Let's move into the 8th now. Gregory Soto is in for the Tigers. The lefty has pitched in 1 scoreless postseason inning so far, starting with Kyle Lewis, who strikes out. Lewis has been pretty quiet today. Overall, a pretty quiet start to the playoffs for him. Alvaro Pena as well has not been great so far in the postseason, but he does get a base hit here into right field. Cleveland has done nothing on offense since the 5th inning, so we'll see if they can get some more insurance runs here late in this game. Ramon Romero, the lefty killer, kills Cleveland's chances of scoring in this inning by grounding out to third. The 5th inning was a complete anomaly. Both offenses exploded, and other than that, neither offense has done anything for the most part. Camilo Duvall in for Cleveland, 1.2 scoreless inning so far here in the playoffs, as Joey Gallo grounds it to third. Going to be a tough play for Ramirez. Not in time, but still a great defensive play at the hot corner by J. Ram. So there's a runner on first here now for Javier Baez. Yeah, that's the Javi Baez that I know all too well as a Tigers fan in real life. So let's go to the 9th now. Tyler Wells is in for Detroit. He's very tall. I think he's like 6'8". Maybe the Pistons could use him. I don't know. Zane Rowley will lead the inning off with a base hit, barely getting by the glove of the second baseman Raymond Prince, going into center field. So Cleveland starts the inning with a base runner. They want to add some more insurance runs, as it looks like this could be a double play. Not quite. It's a fielder's choice off the bat of Josh Naylor, getting a pinch hit at bat here. One away now for Ketel Marte. The 1-2. God, I'm looking. Great pitch by Tyler Wells. The Tigers' bullpen has been almost as good as Cleveland's today. George Valera in as a pinch hitter, pops it up into center. Riley Green should catch it. So Cleveland knows what they've got to do. They can't allow 3 or more runs here in the bottom of the 9th, and they should be able to, because they have probably the best closer in baseball coming into the game, Emmanuel Clase. His first postseason appearance of the year, Clase was 53 of 59 in save opportunities this season with a sub 1.6 ERA and a whip .84. However, the Tigers do get a base hit here. Looks like this will go for extra bases. A 1-out double for Keibert Ruiz. So the Tigers have a runner in scoring position. Again, this game's not over. Detroit needs to make some more plays, but that's a start. 2 away for Paredes. Lines it to Bell. Tags the base. And Cleveland wins Game 3 by the final score of 6-3, taking a 2-1 series lead. So after losing Game 1, we've won 2 in a row. And now all we need to do is win 1 of the next 2, and we'll be moving on to the ALCS. This was a very weird game. So in the 5th inning, we scored 5. They scored 3. Both offenses went nuclear. But other than the 5th inning, both offenses played horribly today. It was so weird. Both offenses started the game terrible. Then the 5th inning happens, and then both offenses ended the game terrible. I don't really know how to explain it. All 3 of their home runs came in the 5th inning. I thought Hunter Green pitched really well. I know the stats don't really show it, but through 4 innings, he was dominating. The bullpen was great, and the Tigers' bullpen was great too, along with Casey Mize, who again started off really well and just tailed off in the 5th inning for whatever reason. So I don't think he should get too much blame either. So that'll bring us to Game 4. Can we finish off the job today with Ranger Suarez on the mound? The Astros currently lead Toronto 2-1. Houston won Game 3. And the 2 National League Series are over. The Dodgers and Marlins have officially swept their opponents. They'll be going to the NLCS. So here we go. Game 4. Much better weather. A beautiful Wednesday night here in Detroit at Comerica Park. It's crazy that 24 hours ago there was a total downpour. If Cleveland wins this game, they'll advance back to the ALCS against either Houston or Toronto, and if they lose, then we'll go to a Game 5. So this is very fascinating. The Tigers have Andrew Painter on the mound, 6'7", 215 pounds. The thing with Painter is that he has never pitched in a big league game, regular season or postseason, in his entire career. And now the Tigers are putting their season in his hands. That's awfully bold, especially considering they have Jacob deGrom, who very well could go today. I don't know why they're not starting deGrom. Jose Ramirez draws a walk. That'll bring up Josh Bell. 3-1 count, 2 away. Runner on first. And Bell's going to ground this one up the middle. Baez, what a play. Sends it to second. Not a bad first inning for Andrew Painter in his Major League debut. One of the most high-intense Major League debuts I think I've ever seen. The Power Ranger, Ranger Suarez, is on the mound for Cleveland. The Guardians acquired him at the trade deadline from the Philadelphia Phillies as Torkelson lines it to Ramiro. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Suarez. And we go into the second. Ramon Ramiro coming off a nice defensive play up to the plate, and he strikes out. I've got to say, Andrew Painter, I know it's early, but he looks comfortable. He looks confident. Maybe the Tigers saw something we didn't, and that's why they are starting him here despite no big league experience, as he strikes out Dansby Swanson as well on the curveball to end the inning. Maybe the Guardians went into this game overconfident, thinking that they were going to mash the ball against him. Oh my lord, Dansby Swanson, hello! The white man's got some bunnies at shortstop, grabbing the second out of the inning. Holy cow, that took me away from my train of thought about Painter against our offense. Riley Green looks at the circle change. That pitch looked like it was well out of the zone, but Ranger Suarez paints it perfectly for the umpire to think it's a strike. Again, no offense, no hits here through the first couple of innings. Both pitchers looking really good. Top of the third, George Valera leading it off as he splits that one between the shortstop and third baseman for a single into left field. So just like the first game today, it took quite a bit for either team to get a base hit. Eliezer Alfonso, a former prospect in the Tigers organization, and of course the reigning World Series MVP, grounds it to short. What a play. Javier Baez is making some highlight level plays in both games today, particularly this second one with a couple big-time diving grabs. Ketel Marte now up. He draws a walk. Very tough pitch to lay off, but the young kid Painter does not get the call from the umpire. That'll bring up Kyle Lewis now. Count us full once again. Lewis hits this one nicely into right center field, but it is caught. Who could have guessed this? Andrew Painter is balling through 3 innings. He's only allowed 1 hit, no earned runs. He's doing really well. So it's a scoreless game, but not for long, as Eric Haas of the Tigers will homer into left center field, making it 1-0. Eric Haas hits really well against lefties, showing it on that play. And so the Tigers are the first ones on the board here in Game 4 with a solo home run from Haas. We'll see if Ranger Suarez can rebound after a big play by the Tigers. And short answer, no, Ranger Suarez does not rebound, as just a few pitches later, Diemi Odiemi also homers in a left center field, nearly the exact same spot that Haas did. Back-to-back home runs for the Tigers. Eric Haas and Diemi Odiemi hit a pair of them, and Detroit leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. The Tigers have come to play here with their season on the line. Isaac Paredes now up. The home run streak is over, but it looks like the Tigers will get another base runner, as that'll be an infield single. Ramiro does a good job of deflecting it, but it ultimately doesn't end up really mattering all that much. Paredes headed for second, and that's a mistake. Prince lines out to Bell, who easily tags first base for a double play. What a great defensive play by Josh Bell to turn 2 on his own. Now Colton Wong is up, lines it into left, and that will drop fair for a base hit as it bounces off the foul wall for a double, as Wong slides into second safely. So there's now a runner in scoring position as the Tigers look to add possibly another run with Spencer Torkelson at the plate. Torkelson mashes it into left center field. That'll go for a base hit. Torque looking ahead to second for a double. Run scores. Torque is safe, and the Tigers now lead 3-0. Big third inning here for Detroit, as they've got all the momentum right now. Gallo is up next. He strikes out to end the inning. Not a great frame there for Ranger Suarez. The Power Ranger allowing 3 as the Tigers lead 3-0 going into the fourth. Jose Ramirez will draw a walk to start the inning. Jose Ramirez continuing to absolutely ball out here in the playoffs, as that'll bring up Josh Bell. Had a big Game 3. Bell hits this one well into right center field, into the gap with Comerica Park's pitcher-friendly dimensions. That ball went a long way, and because of that, Bell is going to dig in for third. He is safe with a triple. Jose Ramirez obviously scores, and it's now 3-1. Cleveland back in the ballgame. Jesus Sanchez now up. He is not playing well right now in the playoffs, and his struggles continue as he goes down looking on the slider for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Ramon Ramiro. The count is 3-1. Ramiro looks at the pitch for a strike, but on the play, Andrew Painter felt some soreness in his shoulder as he was throwing the ball. So it probably won't be a serious injury, but he will have to be taken out of the game, and he'll be replaced by Zach Davies. That's a big deal with how well Andrew Painter has been playing in his big league debut. And we'll see if Cleveland can get some momentum with the pitching change. Following pitch from Davies as Ramiro lines it in the left. Caught. Bell looks to head home. The throw from the cutoff man Baez is in time. They got him. The Tigers turn 2. But not all fun and games of that inning for Detroit. They allow a run. They lose their pitcher as well as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Javi Baez singles into right. Marte bobbles it, but he's still able to prevent Baez from moving any further. Riley Green now up. Grounds it to first. Bell has a tough choice. He's not going to try to turn 2. Instead, he gets the 1 out at first base. Probably the logical decision. Baez on second. 1 away for Eric Haas. He homered in his last at-bat, and it looks like he will homer again. A 2-run shot in a left center field into the bullpen from Eric Haas. Have yourself a day, and it is now 5-1 Tigers. Eric Haas dominating right now. Cleveland makes a pitching change. Suarez is done. He'll be replaced by Dylan Tate, looking to get out of the inning with a runner on for Raymond Prince. Grounds it to short. Dansby Swanson makes the play. So a rough couple of innings here for Cleveland. They do score a run, but they've allowed 5 in the last 2. Top 5. Here is Dansby Swanson. Places it perfectly in a right field, beating out the shift, as that will be a double to start the inning for Swanson. So he is in scoring position. That'll bring up George Valera now, the 2-2 from Davies, as Valera belts it down the line. Isaac Paredes makes a really nice play to throw him out. Good defense there by Detroit. Runner now on third. 2 away for Ketel Marte. And he takes a big swing and a miss. Ball goes in the dirt. The catcher Ruiz makes the play. Good inning for Zach Davies as it remains 5-1. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th, see if the Tigers can get some more offense going. As Spencer Torkelson hits this one into the gap. That one looks like it'll go for extra bases. Torkelson hustling and bustling as he ends up at second with a double. So the Tigers have a runner in scoring position here with 1 away. We'll see if they can drive him in, as that'll bring up Javier Baez. 2 away now. Torkelson on third as Baez singles into left. Torque scores, and it is now 6-1 Tigers. The Detroit offense, after playing pretty poorly in Game 3, is cooking right now here in Game 4. Let's move into the 6th now. Full count here for Kyle Lewis. Hits this one high and deep into center field. Green back at the track at the wall. It is caught. That's a home run in most other ballparks, but since Comerica's center field is so far back, the Tigers are able to get the out. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez now. He wants to make sure this one gets over the fence. High and deep into center. It is caught. Really nice play by Riley Green. But again, that's a home run if not for the pitcher-friendly dimensions. So Josh Bell is going to make sure this one gets out of the park. High and deep in a right field. It is caught. You have got to be kidding me. That might be the most unluckiest inning I think I've ever seen. If this was Yankee Stadium, all 3 of those would have been second deck home runs, but since it's Comerica Park, it's a 1-2-3 inning, and it's still 6-1. Nick Sandlin in for the Guardians here in the bottom of the 6th. He's allowed 2 runs in an inning and a third so far in the playoffs, facing off against Eric Haas, who has homered twice today. Haas is not as good against righties, and I guess it showed there as he strikes out on the slider. Diemi Odiemi homered back in the 3rd inning, and it looks like he's going to do it again. Another one into left center field. That left center area, particularly that bullpen, has taken a beating with 4 homers in that range today. So Eric Haas and now Diemi Odiemi, both with multi-homer games for Detroit here at the bottom of the lineup. Isaac Paredes also doing well at the bottom of the lineup in this game as he gets an infield single. Ramiro gets it to go off of his glove but is unable to field it cleanly. So from there, Sandlin will be taken out of the game. He'll be replaced by the long reliever Ryan Weathers. Assuming Cleveland can't come back, they don't really want to waste their good bullpen arms. They want to make sure those guys are fresh and loose for Game 5, so they're going to have Weathers pitch some bulk innings here as he allows a base hit. 2 runners on here for the Tigers. We'll see if they can add even more to this lead as Torkelson grounds it to short. Swanson gets it over to Ramiro. So the Guardians end the inning, but the Tigers have now scored in 4 straight innings as we move into the 7th. Gregory Soto is in for the Tigers, facing here against Jesus Sanchez. It was a full count to start the inning. Jesus Sanchez was so good to start the playoffs last year. I don't know what's happened, but he gets on base here, finally, thank God. He draws a walk, so the Guardians had the base runner. They only have 3 base hits today. The offense is not putting the bat to the ball. Dansby Swanson has one of those hits, but he does strike out on a fastball for the second out of the inning. Good pitch by Soto. And then George Valera is going to ground this one over to short. Baez with another ridiculous play. Javier Baez looks like a gold glover out there at short. Where was that in real life this year, Javi? So it remains 7-1 going into the bottom of the 7th. The Tigers hoping not to choke it and just finish this game off easily as Baez starts the 7th off strong. Hits this one high and deep in right center. Sanchez tracks after it, and it will one hop off the wall. Javier Baez hustling to third as that'll be a 1-out triple. So Baez is now in scoring position. That'll bring up Riley Green, hoping to drive him in. Green grounds it over to second. Ramon Ramiro will get the out, but Baez scores, and it is now 8-1 in favor of the Tigers. That'll bring up Eric Haas. He's homered twice today, but how about third time's the charm? Let's get a hat trick, as that one is gone into the Cleveland bullpen once again. Eric Haas with a 3-homer day against left-handed pitchers today. Haas has had 3 at-bats, and they've all been homers. Not too bad. Top of the 8th, Alvaro Pena checks in as a pinch hitter, and he gets a base hit. That's cool. Daniel Norris, by the way, is now on the mound here for the Tigers as he'll face off against Ketel Marte. This one is hit high and deep. Maybe this is the one that gets over the fence. No. Cleveland's been so unlucky today with near home runs. If this is any other ballpark, Cleveland has 5 or 6 runs right now. That'll bring up Kyle Lewis now. The count is full. Runner on first. Lewis goes down looking for another strikeout as just everything continues to go wrong here for the Guardians today. Jose Ramirez now up. He draws another walk. I believe he's drawn 3 walks in this game. So Jose Ramirez is doing his job, but I can't really say the same about anybody else other than maybe Josh Bell, but he will strike out to end the inning as the Guardians continue to leave runners on base, and it continues to be a disaster. Bottom of the 8th, Isaac Paredes. In 4 at-bats today, he's reached base on all 4 of them. 3 hits and a walk. This hit looks like it could go for 3 as Sanchez misplays it. And that'll be a no-out triple. The Tigers are looking to get into double figures. They have scored now in 5 consecutive innings, and clearly they're not done. Doesn't look like they're going to score him, however. Marte nearly throws home, not realizing the situation, but he gets Torkelson out at first to end the inning. 9-1. Going into the top of the 9th as Sanchez goes down looking on the four-seam fastball. Great pitch there by Daniel Norris. That'll bring up Zane Rowley now coming in as a pinch hitter. Rowley skies this one into right field. High and deep at the track, at the wall. It is caught. Oh my God. That's like 5 plays in the last 4 innings that have looked like homers. But because it's Comerica, no, no, no. Dansby Swanson flies out to center, caught by Riley Green. So it looks like this series will be headed to a Game 5 as the Tigers dominate Cleveland today 9-1. Detroit was better in every facet of the game. The starting pitching, the bullpen, the lineup. We got dominated today. It's really that simple. This is one of the worst games I've seen this team play in a long time. The offense did not show up, and I get we got unlucky at times, but still, even if some of those balls do go over the fence, we still probably would not have won this game. The bottom of the Tigers lineup especially was really good. Haas with 3 homers, Odiemi with 2. Paredes reached base in every single at-bat. I mean, just a disastrous game. That'll bring us to a Game 5, which will be in the next episode back in Cleveland with Shane Bieber on the mound. The other ALDS series between the Astros and Blue Jays is also headed to a 5th game with Luis Severino facing off against Alek Manoah. So that'll wrap up the episode. I hope everyone enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next episode will be Game 5. Our season will be on the line. If we win, we move on. And if we lose, then we're done. Peace out.